Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So today I'm coming back with another of the set in this Woodland Story Wonderful Wintertime, which is part of the free gift with magazine 79 of Crafting with Hunkydory. So it is matte-tastic, as I've said before, so you can continue to work over these by stamping, embossing, adding whatever to them. So today we're going to be playing with Warmest wishes, and you've got two big sort of decent sized toppers, and then you've got some smaller toppers and tags and two borders. The printed sheet is printed on both sides, so there's two cards there in my opinion. You've got the Mrs. Dear and, or Mrs. Santa Claus Dear I suppose, and Mr. Santa Claus Dear. And then the foiled is this beautiful present border. So we will have a little play with that today. Oops. So let's pop that to the side, and I'm going to bring in two pieces of 6x12 cardstock. This is 300 GSM cardstock. And I'm going to do a card with a step again. So I think that's going to go nice with that little present border, and I want my step to be about 1.5 inches, so I need to do twice that because the step goes up and down, so that's 3 inches, and then 1/2 inch for my glue tab. So I'm going to be coming and cutting this piece off at 3.5, and of course it's already 6 inches across because this is the 12x6, so that will be the perfect length across. Let's pop that out of the way for a second, and we get our base card constructed first, and then I'm going to score at 6 inches on here, which is going to turn this into my sort of card blank, and just make sure that's lined up nicely. Give that a good crease down. Oh, I need that scoreboard again for this. A numpty. Okay, so for this piece I've got 3.5 at the top, so they've got the length on the way down, and I'm going to score at 1.5 and at 3. And I'll put that out of the way this time for good, for this card anyway. So I'm just going to give that a good burnish down, and then push up. So that's what my piece to glue on is looking like. So we've got my step up, my step down, and my tab. And what I like to do is to glue this on, or to stick this to my card this way around, so that my mats and layers can hide that join, rather than having somebody open the card and then see you know, that join there. So I'm going to take some red liner tape, if I can find the end, and I'm just going to pop this onto here. Scissors. There we go. Just going to give that a really good burnish down. And I'm going to take this tape off. Hopefully it will leave me and float into the bin, and it has. I'm also going to pop just a little bit of tacky glue on the edges, so just the best of both worlds, wet and dry adhesive. So the way that I like to glue these down is I take my piece with my glue facing upwards, and I bring that up and I butt it up to the card that I'm sticking it to, so you can see that's nice and straight. And then once I'm happy with it, I'll just fold that down, and that should be the perfect position for my step. We're going to end up with our little 6x6 with a 1.5 inch step. Okay, so nice and easy so far. So let's come in with my trimmer, and I'm going to need some gold mini mats. The foiling is gold on this. So this mirror mat at the back is going to be my usual. I just like to take 2 notches off 2 sides, just to give me that tiny white border all the way around. That's just my preference. If you don't like that, what you can do is just go straight ahead and pop a 6x6 milli mat on it. Okay, or you may even have the you can get the foil edged ones, can't you, in the 6x6, but you can see that's going to fit on there quite nicely. Now this piece, as I said before, is 1.5 by 6, so I'm going to take my little mirror mat and I'm going to pop that at 2 notches under 1.5 and 2 notches under the 6, and that should fit really nicely onto there, and it does. Okay, so next thing is to bring in, I'm going to be using the foiled card on both of my cards today, but I'm going to start by trimming it down to the correct width that I want, which is going to be 5 3/4. That's again just going to give me a really small little border there. And then if I take that to 5 3/4 that way and cut it, and that should fit. I've got a couple of little hearts at the bottom, but really that's going to be behind the step, so I'm not even going to bother about that. And then this piece we need to go to 1.5, so it's going to be 1 1/4 with our layers. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's see, so the whole thing is 2.5. So I'm going to take 3/4 of an inch off, so we can use that as a border elsewhere. And then, okay, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is cut round these items here just to have a raised border, so it will come above there. Let's use my knife, and it's quite straight, straight edges on most of them. A couple of little flowers. Sorry if you heard Henry sneeze as he came in there. He was fast asleep a minute ago. And just go around these little flowers. And what I'm going to do is just fast forward to where I've cut all that out. Okay, so I've just cut around all of that. Some of the little hearts are attached, so I left those ones on. Let me just tidy that up. I just see a little bit of green. Oops, turn that around. And because you've got that green backing on there, that's the same as that, even if you do leave a bit on. I'm being a bit picky, but even if you do leave a bit on, it's just going to go into that anyway, so it's fine. So what I like to do once I've cut this out, I'm just going to put it on. I've been using this embossing mat from the Gemini, and what I like to do just with a large ball tool is just go around those edges, and what it kind of does is just folds the paper under a little bit, because I'm doing it on the back so it's coming towards me, and then it, I find, to my eye anyway, it kind of takes the sharpness off the cut. So that's Mum's tooling one that I'm using there. So it kind of looks a little less sharp to me, which just, you know, it sort of doesn't jar my eye quite so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this on. So the glues I'm going to be using today, they're my usual glues. So in this one I've got the Kalau All Purpose, and in this one I've got the Kalau Tacky Glue. And I'm going to pop some tacky, no, all purpose on the back, a little bit tacky in the corners. Just going to pop that on. George Henry's back. He did come in while I was cutting it out, and I thought, oh, this is going to be, it's going to be a pain in the bum. What you got? I thought you was eating your biscuits. Did you eat all your biscuits? And then this one, I'm just going to put glue on the bottom there, because obviously it's going to come up the top of this step. So just where that glue is going to catch on this piece. Oops, don't turn it. And I'm just popping that round. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is just go, because that border's come down a little lower than I thought it would do, I'm going to move that up. Now I might have to swap this all together if this glue takes the shine off my mirror. It's just the PVA glue, so that's fine. I'm just using a little bit of tissue to catch that before it dries. And I'll just trim that down in a second. Oh, Pete's gone off again, bless him. So let's bring the trimmer back in. I hadn't considered that we might go below that 1.5 mark. So what I'm going to do is just by eye, we've just got that fine border along the bottom. Okay, so that I am happier with. Now I'm hoping that's not going to interfere with that too much. Not sure what he's got, bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so full disclosure, Henry came in, was throwing his ball around by the plug, so had to take a bit of a time out. What I decided to do was just redo this step a little shorter. So the step, I did it cut it to 3 inches, and I scored it at 1 1/4 and 2.5. And I've got a smaller step, and that's going to fit a lot better. I'll also just put a note when I do the measuring earlier on that that's what I'm going to do. So if by the time you're watching this, you'll already know that I've decided to change it. Okay, he's gone back to his cage now, so touch wood, hopefully I'll get half hour or so to get the rest of this video done. Okay, so now I can come in with my layers onto my card. And that other card won't go to waste, I'll use that on something else. So just move you out of the way, let's pop you down. And then what I'm going to do is just make sure it's nice and even at the top, because you're not really going to see the bottom anyway. Apologies if you can hear the neighbours, I think they've come home in the meantime. And because it's just stopped raining, it was really raining quite heavy a minute ago. So they're now out in the garden, so apologies if you do hear them chatting away and shouting at each other like they usually do. Because one of the kids is a little bit bossy. She's the youngest, so she tells everybody else what to do. Okay, so now we've got our card with our little step on. You can see our presents come up above it. And if I hold it like that, you can see there's a nice bit of dimension there. What I'm going to do is just give that a little bit of a flex, because I don't want it to dry sort of curving inwards. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this one. Because my next card, I think I want to use this one that's got more layers on it. This one's just got the two, the frame and the inner. And so we've got Mr. Santa Claus Deer, and I think I'm just going to go with maybe Season's Greetings. Find somewhere to put that, maybe a bit of a ribbon. I think they've missed a trick there with no Merry Christmas, my dear. That's kind of the sentiment I would have gone for. Okay, so I think we're gonna grab some 1mm foam pads. Of course I'm gonna have to cut them down. Let's just cut this into 3s. These are the Fix-It ones, and still enjoying using these. They don't seem to have got sticky, or you know, super sticky, so this is quite good. Nothing's fallen off my cards, touch wood, so it's been a good decision for me to swap them, both in terms of the amount of money that I spent on foam pads and time using them as well. Even though I do have to cut them up a bit smaller, I don't really mind that at all. Oh, while I put that in the bin, there's some left on there. What a numpty. Yeah, Henry's got, I think I've said to you before about Henry, because my sister started hiding his ball, he thinks now that's what we want to play. So he comes in here and he'll put his ball behind things, and lately under my desk I've got a little footstool that was my nan's, but it's right next to the plugs, and last couple of times he's come in here when I've been in here, that's where he's trying to put his ball. I'm so worried that he's gonna sort of slobber or, you know, do something and electrocute his silly self. But so far, touch wood, he's been doing okay. But right, so I need to make sure that I've got this the right way for the top out. So let's just pop that in for a second. I'm going to pop that down right about there. Not particularly going for placement in the centre, because I still have to get this on, which I think it will go on nicely in that corner. Got a bit glue on my hands. So for this one, I think I'm going to go higher again. So I'm going to go 2mm with this one. Again, these are the Fix-It ones, but these ones I got in a smaller size. Next time I will get the same size as those ones, because they seem to come off the roll better. Okay, just give them a press down, see how they are doing. And obviously if you wanted to, you could put this bit down flat, put some of your strips around there, a bit of acetate. You could turn that very easily into a shaker. The only downside with this topper is that there's no, for me, is just that there's no middle frame. So this is just two frames, well, one frame and the topper. I like to have a little bit of space in between, but it's going to look good whatever way we do it anyway. So I'm just going to pop that in, put the glue on the pad so it gives us a little bit of wiggle room time. If you want under there, just make sure you're popped up. And then this one, again, I'm going to use these 2mm pads. Get a little one in the middle there. Okay. So I think I might like some kind of red ribbon. Actually, that's going to have to go over the top, so let's just pop like so. Again, I'm just going to give that a little flex because I can see it just turning, sort of bowing towards me. I don't want that to happen. Let's see what colour ribbon. Red would be nice. We could go with blue. Let's go with blue because that's to hand. And I've got this lovely navy ribbon. Really loving navy this year for Christmas. Don't know why. But it seems to go with pretty much all of the kits that Hunkydory have done. Let's just bring in my little bow maker. Obviously, if you haven't got one of these, this is an old Glitter Girls one that Mum bought. But Hunkydory do have their own. It's not very expensive, a couple of pounds. So if you're looking for something to take your basket over to free postage. That might be worth having a little look at. And it does all sorts of sizes as well. I can tie a bow by hand, but it is getting harder for me because my hands don't work as good as they used to. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue. There's a bit of a bubble there, sorry, so I just had to. Then we'll pop that in, and then my reverse tweezers. Are you going to be able to get there? Maybe not. Okay. Oops. Alright, so I like to try and get the tweezers on the little knot if I can. Just find that it glues a bit more securely then. And then I'm going to bring in some of these blue pearls. Okay, I want to go with a couple of small ones, so let's just pop a few in there. 1, 2. That's a slightly bigger size, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to put one on each corner down here. The benefit about having one of these little trays is that you can just shake them side to side. The other good trays I like are the ones for diamond painting, because they got little ridges on, so as you shake the gems themselves, they sort of hit those ridges and turn over. So, and I'm just going to put this larger one at the top, and there. There, I think. Okay, so you can go back with your friends. It's not your day. And that is going to be my finished card. What I'm going to do is just leave that on there just for about 10 minutes or so, just for that glue to set on the ribbon, and I'll show you that one again at the end. But what I'm going to do is just get set up for card number 2. Okay, so I'm bringing in this card blank. I've cut it down from an 8x8, to be honest with you, and I've cut it to 4 1/4 by 7 because I want my topper to come off the edges of it. So let's bring my trimmer back in. And now I have got a piece of A4 gold here. Now this isn't Hunkydory gold, so apologies if you can see the quality is slightly different, but it is it's actually from the pound shop. So I am working through bits and pieces that Mum's bought, mainly because these cards are going for charity. So I don't mind using it up. You can't really tell so much, I don't think. It's just slightly different yellow. So I've just cut this. I was too busy telling you that, but 2 notches under the 7 and 4 and 2 notches across, and that should give me quite a nice even little mat there, and it has. And then I'm going to come back to this one. I'm going to cut this at, actually I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom because it's just curling a bit there. So I'm going to give my cardstock which every chance of being as straight as I can. So 6 3/4. We've got a lovely little border there, and this will be by 4. And that should fit quite nicely onto there, and it does. And I think that is all of the cutting that I need to do for this one. So this one's going to be quite a quick little card. Let's pop some all-purpose glue and some tacky. Pop this on. quite nice. Now I'm not sure if I want a ribbon or whether I want to use one of these borders, so let's pop the topper out, just do a little bit of pre-planning, because if I'm doing the ribbon I like to hide it behind those layers. So we're going to have our little thing on there. I think maybe we will go with this one of these borders, whether it be the heart one or the one that says Christmas wish sent from the heart. Let's pop you out there, and I kind of feel like the warmest wishes to you both should really go with that. So this other one has got sent with love on, so maybe we will go with that. So maybe I'll use the heart border then in that case. And then we've got our sent with love, which I can put on there. Again, I'll find a little bit of ribbon. Okay, so we don't need to do any ribbon on the back, so you can of course put some on if you want. Also this cardstock, don't be afraid to emboss that if you want to. You do get an embossing folder with the magazine, which is a really nice little embossing folder, really usable. And I didn't think it was when I first saw it. I was like, oh, it's a word one, because historically I don't usually use them, but the words are really nice on it. And I've used it loads of times on this kit and on the previous one. It looks lovely on the Matastic papers with a little bit of gilding wax over the top, but you have to have a really light touch. I think Lisa Horton's coming out with some new gilding waxes. Maybe I need to have a little look and see what she's got, because I know there's a press plate of hers that I want. It does Christmas greetings in a circle, and then you've got different dies that you can put around it. Okay, so I'm thinking our little Mrs. Deer there. Now, do I want to put a little bit of parchment behind it? We have got the parchments that came with the kit. So we've got, excuse me, we've got the starry one. That might be a bit too dark, I think. But it would work. But where's the other ones? Let's have a look. There's from the presents. Here we go. And there's another one here. Let's see. So let's roll that one out for a moment. Sorry, these will all rustle. And then I think you can really tell what those are. Like that one. Let's have a look at these. Like that one as well. Shall I go for the green one, or shall I go for the red one? Bring in a bit of red maybe. Yeah, I'm going to go for the red one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, make sure I've got the right side. I'm going to use my Crafter's Companion tape pen. Now this is a solid one, so you will have heard me whinging that I have run out of my dotty one, and my aim when I order from Hunkydory is to buy one of their dotties. So I just think this is going to be easier to stick quickly to the vellum. It doesn't matter if I go over a bit, everything's going to be hidden behind. Let's get rid of that one as well, because I'm not going to use that. And then what I can do is just undercut that You always come back and trim anything showing. There we go. And I've got a little bit on this side. There we go. Just got a little bit there. Just take that. Tip off. And is there any more that's close to the edge? A little bit along here. Sometimes if you look at the back you can see where it's just overlapping, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit, and I'm hoping that not a lot of this will be seen when it's off on the card. Let's just double check that. There is a little bit that will be seen. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's check which way it's going on first of all, because obviously this will have a right and a wrong way. I think that is about right. And then if I turn that over, what I can do is just gently run my knife along it. And if I just score it, it will go under anyway, so there we go. So you can see that that's just come off, and where was the other one? It's on this side, I think. There we go. Sometimes I do forget to think ahead. There is a little bit of sticky there, so let me just grab my glue eraser and decide where we're on. Now I've lost my place again. Oh, sometimes. It's not that one or that one, maybe it's that one. Oh, I think it's there, look. Yeah. Let's just lift that glue. Lose it again, and there we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop that way round, and what I can do is put a foam pad in the middle, because obviously the topper is going to cover that, and then just going to put 3 foam pads along the bottom and the top. And 3. Okay, just double check that that sits okay. Yeah. And of course I'm going to put a little bit of tacky glue over as well, just to make sure that we have a little bit of wiggle room with these pads. Come off now. So a little bit of tacky. And this one in the middle is just going to support it when we put our other topper on top. I'm going to come down just a little bit. think I might. Yeah, that's fine there. And then again for this one, I can put pads wherever I like with this one because it's just going to be on that vellum. Apologies guys, so it's cut out for some reason the last little bit of this card. So you saw me about to pop the topper on top of the vellum, which I did. I then just put this little border, cut it to size, put it on a 1mm foam pad, and the same with this little tag. The only red ribbon I have at the moment is it's either 5 or 6mm, so it's about 1/4 of an inch. So I used the red one on there just to tie that in, and then just some little Hunkydory pearls to finish that off. So apologies about that, but it is just basic stuff that you missed. It's not anything technical. But I just popped that on there just to break up that bottom bit. It looked quite wide there, so I thought that would look better broke up with the border. So that ribbon is now on there, so it has been it was clamped on for 10 minutes like the previous one. So let me bring back in that second card. So we've got our little card with the step, so you can see there's a nice bit of distance between that, so that's going to look really nice on a shelf. And then you've got this one, which will still have to go in a 5x7 envelope because we have got those wings. I will trim that little bit off in a second, just gone over a little bit there, but that's fine, it will come off with the knife. But two nice cards there, and that was from the, I think it's Winter Fun Time, I think it was. Let me just grab it, it's gone to the bottom of the pile again. Not that one. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold coming. Here it is. It was on the top, it's just got squished between things. So, Warmest Wishes. So not much left on that one. Just a couple of little toppers. So I probably will use those with the printed cardstock. So I think I'll probably just get another 2 cards out of this particular kit. I have got that Warmest Wishes to you both there. On one of the cards I'm probably going to end up using Spellbinder foiled sentiment that I do with gold foil onto the, I have got some on the blue Matastic. I think I've got some on the green Matastic as well. You know, needless to say, the Adorable Scoreable and the Matastic both foil beautifully. In the Gemini foil press. That's the only one I've got, so that's the only one I can say works really well. But it's sort of, you know, it's the cards that they used to foil on themselves, Hunkydory, isn't it? So I would have been very surprised if it hadn't foiled very well. Oh, and just the other thing I've cut while I was waiting to see what had been cut out, I did cut the inserts to size. These are the ones that I've downloaded. And that I think go with this kit. So you've got the little Christmas scene with the fireplace, so that one will go into there, and then the other one is the one with the presents, and I did print out extra ones of the presents because I think that's the one that goes with any sort of image from this kit. So that one's the one. If you haven't done any printing out yet, do extra ones of that one. It does go right across the page, which is great. So I am getting 2 inserts out of it. But like I say, it's worth printing out more if you haven't done the printing and the downloading from Hunkydory themselves yet. But that's it for today. So I think it's still birthday week next week, is it? I think I haven't seen the email yet, but I'm pretty sure it was not finishing until the 25th or something. I could be wrong, it could be not wrong, but I did see some things on Hunkydory on Saturday that were really nice, and then Pauline was there today with a sort of roundup as well, so some really nice things, and I still need to do my bit of shopping. I'm going to do that this evening and have a little look. Hopefully you've done your birthday shopping as well with them if you want anything, so the extra points, and there are extra points on some of the new items as well that they launched this week. But that's it for me today. Hope you've had a good weekend. I will be back in a couple of days' time with the last little set from this free kit. But until then, keep crafting. Bye.